Shannon, what's good?
Not much, Mike. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. Just happy to have you here and
Right.
bringing you back. And like, can you describe like where you're at right now?
Oh, me? As
Like,
in location?
yeah.
I'm back at the foundation where I got started with my boy, Mike Williams Sr. We shot What's in the Box, one of my early episodes. I started when I first started shooting the Shannon show. And this is basically like the foundation, the game changer here with him because he gave me a lot of pointers on how to do my video pointers. Until, of course, being a student of the game, just paying attention, I took his information, I channeled it, and started seeing things evolve. And because of that video, it helped me think, visualize it more, how to do my videos. And it has, because now my channel's been running for 4 years, so that really helped me evolve and see better. And plus my edits, everything, just get better with everything over time. That kind of deal. So, oh man, I'm excited to be back. Home base. Home base. Welcome back. Still got my boy Added Color up there.
What's your name? Where you from? And just a little bit about yourself, like what you do.
My name is Shannon. Shannon Marley. I'm into a lot of things. Into like electronics, video games, and of course video editing, film, camera, the same as you. And you know, the thing is, I think with me, how everything got started for me, I was little. I think maybe I had to be I want to say preschool. My mom, I'll never forget it, man. The first time I think I started getting into cameras, my mom had a Polaroid one-step camera. It was white with the rainbow stripe, and plus she had a black one with the little rainbow stripe on it. And she would take pictures of me, and she'd put the little flash, the little flash cube on it. And man, I tell you, when she did it, I got real excited. So she gave me the camera one day. So I just started taking pictures. I was like, oh wow, it was like a whole new world, just taking pictures. Next thing you know, man, I'm taking pictures here, I'm taking pictures there, everywhere. And then on top of that, we were at my grandma's house. She had got me what is it? Oh, ViewMaster projector. I never forget it. It was blue, like kind of like dark blue, and like the lens part was like green. And I never forget. She took it, she aimed it at the wall, and I was trying to figure out what she was doing. So she kept playing. She was trying to focus it and get it adjusted just right. And when I saw her do that, it's like, oh my gosh, man, that just opened up a whole nother world. It's all because of my mom, man. I think that's what got me into electronics with cameras and video. And the first time I recall seeing a video camera was her home Super 8 camera. The brand was Shannon, I think Chinon, China, if I'm saying it right. That's the first home camera I recall seeing as far as a Super 8. She had the film developed, and what she would do is she would take the film, she would set it up on the projector, and she would run it back because the thing is, she had the home reels developed. We went down to Florida, and so she would go back and play them back. And when the films would run out, she would run it back, and you would see everybody going in backwards, reverse. I was like, oh, that was like the best part, just everybody run backwards. Because, I like to do things backwards, too. It's more fun for me in reverse. And just seeing that, it's like, oh, man, that opened up a whole nother world with the cameras. It's like everything just been building up. But that was like the building blocks for me. Here's another story I'll tell you. My mom, my folks, my dad, he's cool, too. He knows a lot. He does a lot. But my mom, she'll catch you off guard. What she did was, I'll never forget it. 3rd grade, Miss Leathers' class. It was Miss Leathers, and Miss Price was her assistant teacher. I was in class, sitting down. We was, I forgot, I think we were doing social studies maybe. And out of nowhere, I look to the right, clear. I still see this memory clear as day. I look to the right. All of a sudden, I see my mom sneaking in, and she, out of nowhere, she had ice cream bars for the class, man. I was like, wow, my mom caught me off guard. I still think about that, how she caught the whole class off guard with the ice cream bars. And what Miss Leathers did was she had the class stop so they could, she let us eat the ice cream bars, and she had the class to write my mom a thank you note, a letter. I was like, wow, who does that? My mom, she's, now I think my mom's like the closest one who can catch me off guard, because it's really hard to catch me off guard and surprise me, but my mom was the one who did that, and it's like, man, it's like it's always evolving. That's the cool thing. I like my mom's inspiration. My dad is my family. My grandma and my uncle always say, keep God in your life. God always come first. Read your Bible. Pray to God. Just because it doesn't happen right away doesn't mean he's not listening. You just have to be patient. One thing I learned over time was patience. Oh, man, because I kind of like to do things in a hurry, but sometimes God had to pull you back and say, wait, hold on. I hear you, but just wait. Just wait. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening, because he's in the mix, in the background, making everything happen. It's like, wow. But I tell you, man, life is cool. You learn from people like I learned from your dad, man. I learned so much from Mike Williams just over time. A guy who is like an uncle who looked over me, make sure I did the right thing. Even though I know I was, but it's good to have that person, somebody knowing they care about you enough to do that, because if they didn't, they wouldn't say nothing to you at all. So I'm glad I had that there with Mike Williams. And there was a few other guys I worked with in Union as well who looked out for me. Also, still continue to do that, which is cool, man. They was like, hey, Shannon, you need anything, man? I got your back. Hey, man, I'm here for you. And I do the same thing. You got to have somebody have your back and have their back. That's what it's all about, man, because we can't do this by ourselves. When you get that camaraderie, that love from everybody, it works out. Get that, one singing like that harmony song, We Are the World kind of thing. We are family. Hey, hey, hey. I got my... Well, I don't know the words. Sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, that's how I kind of got started as me with life.
And so now, like, what's your profession like? Take us into, you started with being inspired by being a young man and with your mom. So what do you do now?
What I do now is basically I do stagehand where I got more into the aspect of getting into the AV part of the game, which I love. Like dealing with AV, dealing with audio, video. We set up projectors, cameras, soundboards, microphones, everything. And the thing I really started getting into the rhythm was with setting up AV meeting rooms, which I love to do. Me and some of the guys, we get this team going, so everybody knows what their skill set is, and I love doing it, man. Checking on the client, getting them set up. They bring the laptops in or whatever they need, audio, whatever. Say, hey, you okay? You need help with this or that? Like a lot of the clients use PowerPoint presentation, and most of them use PC, which I do forgive them because I'm all about the Mac, man. But that's understandable, but everybody has their own taste. So what I do is I just help them out. I say, do you need help with this? I get them mic'd up, use the lavalier, or if they're going to use the goose mic at the lectern, not podium, because people say podium, it's your lectern because you're lecturing. Podium is what you stand on. That kind of thing. But it's fun to me, man. And see, it keeps me in the loop as well, so I know what's going on in the world of electronics, because I'm Mac and there's PC, but I try to stay in the PC world because I have to deal with that with the client. So I need to have an understanding, keep it in my arsenal, so I know how to approach the client by having that knowledge.
And right now, you're rocking a UNC hat. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, here we go. UNC, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. This is where I'm from, North Carolina, the Raleigh-Durham area. But I've always grown up watching UNC, Michael Jordan, James Worthy, Mac Darty, Sam Perkins, and of course, the greatest coach of all time, Dean Smith. I know I'm in Hoosier Town, Bobby Knight, but no, I'm from North Carolina, so it's going to be Dean Smith. And I think coming from the Tar Heels with Michael Jordan and see how they were winning, man, because like Jordan was the man. But also with Carolina too as well. I always like the blue and white, so that's what I use for my channel, the blue and white colors, because they really pop. The colors complement each other. Like you got blue and white, you got red and white, or you go with blue and yellow. It just depends on the feel. But blue and white has always been the thing for me, so that's what comes across.
Speaking of blue and yellow, what you rocking here?
Oh, this right here, old school Parliament Funkadelic. George Clinton, man. We want the funk. Gotta have that funk. Blah, ba, ba, ba. All right. The first time I saw Parliament was me and my mom went to Greensboro, North Carolina, to the War Memorial, and Parliament was there. So she took me the first time. I believe I was my sophomore year in high school, so that had to be like October '92. Yeah, because I never forget it. on TV. They were showing Comic View had just started coming out with host D.L. Hughley, that kind of thing. So that's the way I remember it. And we was at the War Memorial. I'll never forget it, man. George Clinton was up there with all that crazy hair. He had like orange, blue, green, yellow. Oh gosh. But yeah, man, they were throwing down. Of course, it wasn't the original Parliament, but the sound and music was still there to feel. You could still feel it, even though the originals weren't there. But man, you felt right at home. Everybody was just jamming. The next thing I know, after I go to the Parliament concert, I come back to not Record Bar. Was it the Merry? It was the merry-go-round. I think I started buying like Parliament's greatest hits, Parliament anthology. Man, I was just buying everything Parliament. Parliament this, Parliament that. Then my Uncle David had the Funkadelic record, One Nation Under Groove. One Nation Under a Groove. Getting down just for the funk of it. That kind of thing, you know. But yeah, man, I've been addicted to Parliament for the longest. And just what got me was Parliament were really good with showmanship. They had the mothership. What it was, the mothership would come down, it would land, and then of course you see George Clinton as Star Child coming up. Star Child, the long-haired sucker. And he would put on a show, man. He had that long fur coat, that white hat. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't Star Child. They gonna get me for this. It was Sir Nose Devoid of Funk. He would come out Sir Nose because he had that long nose. He'd start coming down with his cane, start dancing down the stairs, you know. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, bum, 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 dun-dun-dun-dun. And I tell you, man, another person from Parliament Funkadelic was Bootzilla, Bootsy Collins, man. Oh, man. You know, Bootsy is from Ohio. Bootsy Collins, Zapp and Roger, Ohio players. But, man, Bootsy was the man, too, because he was with Parliament Funkadelic. But before he joined Parliament Funkadelic, he was playing with James Brown. He started from there, but he worked his way. Him and his brother, Catfish Collins. Man, they both were great, but Bootsy was the man with that bass. Bootsy could kill it, man. Bootsy had that boom, boom, boom. You know, he was working with his wah pedals. It's like, it was just crazy to hear. He had his own distinguished sound with his guitar. But another great bass player was Louis Johnson from the Brothers Johnson. Man, he did like that slap bass. Him and Larry Graham was another a great bass player. He did that slap. He take his thumb to bump, 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 bump. You know, bump, 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 bump. Bump. You see that? They get that thumb. Dun, 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 dun.
So do you actually play guitar?
You know, I had a bass guitar. I played just a little bit, trying to get my coordination down, trying to learn the basics. But I want to get back into it. I had a precision. No, I had a jazz bass. I believe I did. It was a Fender, but I would love to get back into it. What inspired me to play the guitar was my Uncle Darrell. Man, he plays for the church back home in North Carolina. He's been playing for years. Like, I believe I was little. I had maybe like first grade. I think when I started watching my Uncle Darrell play his guitar, because we'd be at my granddad's. He put on the Gap Band early in the morning, Burn Rubber. He would jam to it, and he'd give me like this little trumpet, and I'd be trying my best to play while he's playing his guitar. But man, it was just fun just being there with my uncle. You know, with my Uncle Darrell. You know, we still cool, man. We tight, me and my Uncle Darrell. I got so many memories of him, man. I could sit here all day and tell you all the memories I got, Christmas, everything, man.
So right now, this is something that I'm getting from you. Like, you have this underlying passion. Yeah. Like, you seem very jubilant. You seem like, you know, like a big kid on the inside. You can see it in your smile. You can see it, you know, you can see with what you're rocking. You can see that you come into a space, you know, you have this laugh. And, you know, that the room is like, who's that laughing over there, you know? Yeah. Like, where does that come from?
I don't know, just being me. You know, a lot of my friends at work, they say they love my giggle. I don't know, I just have fun. See, I've always been like that, just having fun, man. Just do it. I've always been a daredevil. I'll give you an example of me being a daredevil. I was at my older cousin's house, John. He let me have his bike, and what I did was, and this, I think, one of the things I started coming up with, wanting to experiment with stuff. He let me have his bike, so what I did was, I ripped the seat off, I ripped the tires off, so I had bare rims and no seat. And what I did was, I would set up a ramp, and I would jump the bike, man. And what I did was, I took the pedals off as well, so it would just be bare. That's how I would ride my bike, man. I was like, wow. That's how I would get down, man, because I was fearless, man. I really didn't care. I mean, that fear was never there. It's like, what if I do it this way? Or what if I do it that way? So I've always been like that. And that's where the Sure Shannon came from with Jennifer saying, Sure Shannon, because I have all these off-the-wall ideas. Man, I got on my notes on my phone and a little pad of all my ideas I got from years I still haven't tried yet. It's just been piling up on me. But that's where it comes from, man. Just having fun. You only live once, so, man, you just got to go for it. You know, you can't hold back. Just do it, man. Because I know people sometimes get bogged down with so much, like, I don't know if I can do this and that, you know. Just do it, man. Just do it. Even don't be afraid to fail. That's the thing. Even if it goes wrong, you just pick up. You learn from that. Write down what you did wrong. Just pick up and keep rolling. You got to, man, because if you never try, you'll never know. Even if you fail, you'll know at least you tried. You gave it your best shot. You know, man. I can't be like that, man. I know. I just got to go for it. I don't care one way or another. I ask God, please just give me the vision. Just help me focus. If I fail, but I'll give it my best shot. So either way, man, hey, I feel like I can't lose.
Yeah. And that's beautiful. It seemed like you started the Sure Shannon show 4 years ago?
Yeah, March 5th, 2016. Yeah, 4 years ago, man. And I started with your dad, as I was saying, with What's in the Box. Here, that was the game changer as well. It's like, wow, I'm still amazed, man. 4 years? What? 4 years? Because I didn't even expect myself to do that. I think what I did was we just came from Florida. We went to Disney World, Universal. Like, we left December 2015. Right after New Year's, literally after that party, we got in the car and rode out. So we went to Disney World and Universal for like a week. See, what I do is, I know people have New Year's resolutions, but what I do is, I always try to follow through on my New Year's resolution. So my goal was, I said, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. I just start, naming off things. And sure enough, man, I said, okay, let me go home and just practice this. See, I got a green screen for Christmas, so I wanted to go ahead and just start practicing. So I set my camera up, and I just started playing around, just kind of doing like a demo, what it'd be like, to get the feel for it. So, okay, I said, this might work. So let me try this. So I put my Mickey Mouse magician's hat on, Fantasia, the cartoon. I put it on, and I started playing around with it. I said, wow, wait a minute. And then I took the monorail shot that I took down at Disney World. I green screened it behind me. I was like, wow, that really works. That looked kind of good. So I just kept playing with that. So, okay, well, if that works, well, let me play with this. So I took that, added to that. Then it was just like a chain reaction, man, one after the other. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. That kind of thing. Oh, I meant to tell you, let me back up a little bit before that started. I was working with a guy like back in 2010, 2012, and he was a big Mac person, my friend Dave. And what it was, he had an iMac, and he was going to sell it to me, and I ended up buying it from him, which was a good deal because it had Adobe Premiere, all the editing apps, all Adobe programs, and it had iMovie. And see, I had a camera, and I believe it was still like a mini DV camera at the time. No, actually, it was a Sony camera. It was like those little mini disc DVDs you could record on, because I went from mini DV, then I started recording on the mini disc, the DVDs as well. And then after that, I was working. I was doing some landscaping work, and I just bought the iPhone February 2011, and I started doing some landscaping for a company like a few months later, and I noticed with my iPhone, I shot video. I said, let me just take my phone out, just get a little bit of reference, and I shot some video, and I noticed how the quality of the video was looking with my iPhone. I said, wait a minute, why does this look good in iMovie? And then I took the video from the, I guess basically SD and HD, and I was like, I was learning this on my own, and I started comparing. I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, I like this team over here better than this team. So I went and hurry up, and I took it, and I sold it. I put it on eBay, because next thing I knew, I wanted an HD camera. Okay, so let me get an HD camera. So the first HD camera I actually got was a JVC. I think it was like 2013. I got it from a pawn shop. So what I was doing, I was paying on it, so I got it. So then I started playing around with it. But then, for some reason, I got disappointed. I didn't like it. I said, it's okay, but now it's like, I want something better, but I haven't had it for maybe like a month or so. But I said, I want something better now. I was ready to go to the next level. So I sold it, man, which I couldn't believe, which was cool. The next thing I know, bam, I got a 2015, I got a Sony HD camera. And it's like, wow. I said, this is what it's looking like. And from there, man, that's when I really started taking off with my experiments with my camera and green screen and everything, man. Then I just started shooting around playing demos. Then I talked to a buddy of mine, Andrew. He's the one who he does the theme song for my show. I talked to Andrew. I was like, man, I need like a family friendly theme song to play for my show. And sure enough, he came up and did it, man. I was like, wow. Then, okay, so now I got the music. I got my videos. Okay, let me put this with this. Start blending. You know, it's like a chef in the kitchen. You just, mixing up all the flavors. You chop, chop, chop. Put your little onions here, mix them here. Bam, bam, bam. Next thing you know, you got your nice recipe for showtime. I'm telling you, man, it's a beautiful thing.
The journey seems like it's God put all the pieces that you needed in place.
Yeah.
From growing up where you did in North Carolina, to your mom introducing you to the Polaroid and the lane cameras, and then going to the Super 8, and then the experience in third grade, and then fast forward, you're getting your own equipment, and you're going to the pawn shop, and then you start Shannon show, and now it all comes full circle, and then we're back in the room.
I know, man.
That really gave a spark, creative spark, an inspirational spark to what you're doing. Like, so how would you describe, like, in just a couple sentences, like, how would you describe what the journey's been like, where you're at right now, and where you're looking to take this?
Man, where I describe the journey, it's just been fun the whole time. It's really helped me see, man, like, not just editing, but it's like, it helps you open your mind to a lot of things, like the way the world looks, and like I catch myself just doing it out of nowhere, just looking at TV. Normally I like just enjoying myself watching TV, but all of a sudden it's like another switch, a flip on, and then I start making notes. That helped me just in general, just to pay attention to details. People in general, man, just see how people function every day, man. It's like seeing somebody coming down the street or just whatever. I just make mental notes all the time, just talking to people, see how they do, that kind of thing. It makes you see not just from your perspective, but from other people's perspective, learning how each person functions, what's their routine, how they do things. I think that's how it goes.
So do you have any like major goals? Because it seems like you're like a lifelong student. It seems like you're learning as you go. Like, is there any major goal that you would like to share with yourself? Like you go back a few years ago from now. Watch this. Is there any goals that you have in mind?
Oh yeah, man. Oh, there's plenty. Oh, trust me, my plate is way over full. I like to have my own company, man. I want one day maybe have my own TV studio. Because, I told a buddy of mine, I want to have a studio, and that way I can really have more space, of course, than where I'm at now. And I can have my own space, and I can start filming different kind of projects, build sets. I was a theater major, man, a tech major. And I want to take some of that and really apply it to what I know now. Have my friends come back, and we can do some different things, because I want to take everything that I learned and bring it all to the forefront, man. I want to bring everybody. Come on, let's go, man. Let's go. Let's get this, man. Not just me, but, we'd be like the Avengers of the A-Team. Everybody has their own specialty, so I want to bring it out to the forefront. On top of that, man, what I see is, like, sometimes I know people how I want to say this. Never be afraid. It takes courage to be yourself, man. That's the one thing I learned over time. Just keep being myself. Just keep doing this because sometimes people get discouraged of wanting to follow their dreams. And my mom always said, follow your dreams, sky's the limit. She still says that to me this day, man. So sometimes I think about some stuff. I'd be like, maybe, will that really work, or should I? But you know what? I put that to the side and just go, man, because I don't want to get bogged down with that. I just keep doing it, man. Even if I fail, I'm not afraid to fail for anything. I'll just do it, man. So just have fun with it. And that's what my teachers always said in school. Always have fun. I know you're trying to learn the techniques, the mechanics of everything, but have fun while you're doing all of this, because if you don't, man, you might get lost or you might not want to do it. But that's the thing. The fun, the joy of it, the passion for it keeps you going. It helps you to understand why you're having fun and learning at the same time. That kind of thing. My teacher, Mr. Jeffrey Richardson, he's taught me so much, like work ethic, man. He always said, it's not going to materialize. You just got to go get it, man. And I learned that back in 97. When he said that, he said, you go and do whatever you have to do to make it work. And once he said that, man, it's like everything clicked. I mean, everything literally clicked when he said that, man. It's like, oh, now I see. So then, man, I started reading books, how to do this about film, reading about film, the different types of film, the different editing bays, everything, man. I just started reading that. So then I took another book. I grabbed this book. Okay, so this book lines up with that. It's like everything connects with one way or another. It just, like my grandma said, you just got to be able to recognize it. The cues, you just have to pick up on it quick enough to see what's going on around you the whole time. So that's one thing I learned too. Always be aware of everything, what's going on here, see, hear everything, man. Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're like, you're opening up about your mind. You're opening up about how you're perceiving things. You're taking your mental notes.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're very encouraging at the same time. Like it seems like
Thank
you're
you.
talking
Appreciate
to
it.
it seems like you're talking to yourself. Like you're telling yourself, keep going. You're telling yourself, keep learning your craft. You're telling yourself, I can get I feel the energy. Like,
yeah.
And it is great just because I'm back. I'm like, connecting with you here, and it's just like it's like you're in a space to talk about things that mean something to you. So,
right.
So I feel it, and it's coming through the camera, and I think like whenever it comes to editing, you'll be able to go back and like look into these questions, look into things. So just really tap back into that feeling. So like you are very jubilant. You have so much energy.
Right.
You said, I think it was your uncle who said something that from then on it started clicking. Everything started clicking, right? Was that?
Oh, my teacher, Mr. Richardson.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it started clicking. So whenever it comes to that, who are the people that? And once it started clicking, like all these different people and inspirations, I'm sure just started.
Right.
That you were able to acknowledge, like, wow, these people inspire me.
Yeah.
So who are the people who inspire you, and who is somebody who you would love to interview? Like, especially because you do a lot of interviews on the Shannon show too. So
I need to catch up. I need to get more. I need to catch up on that. But like I was saying, you'd be one of the people I would love to interview, man. Just see where your mind is, because man, just looking at your work, Mike, it's like, wow, man. I mean, you really inspire me too as well. What I do is, man, like my grandma said to me, you're never too old to learn anything, regardless if somebody's younger than you. Because I know some people, they get to a point where they get older, like, I can't learn. No. If it's good, regardless age don't matter. Knowledge is powerful, regardless where it comes from, man. And like I was saying, the people inspire me, like my grandma, my Uncle Darrell, my Uncle Dwight, my folks, mom, dad, my cousins, man. It's like family. And I got friends, too, that inspire me as well from school. And like I was saying, my teacher, Mr. Richardson, Jeff Richardson, oh, wow, like I was saying, he told me, I hang on to this as well, I should put this, like, make it a flag. He said, live every day as if it's your last. When he told me that back in 1997, man, it's like, wow, that was deep words. And from that day forth, man, because, like, after my granddad passed, I called him, man. I had a feeling it was something wrong that day, because I called my mom, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, because they said my mom had left for the day. I said, something's not right. I could just smell it in the air, man. It's just, I had that feeling, and I was in the dorm, and next thing I know, man, my mom called around maybe 3 o'clock. I knew it, man. She didn't even have to say a word. I heard the phone. I just could feel it in my heart, my granddad. My granddad was really inspiring, too, man. I learned so much from him. When I would go down there with him during the summer, we would get up early, like maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. We'd go down, we'd go across the road, go across Jodine's cow pasture. We lift up the wire, and I'd go through. He would go through. We'd go to the lake and fishing, and we would come back. He would get a little turtle for me and put it in like his foam bucket and keep it for me. And then he would take his fishing rod, kick back, and just start fishing like he's gonna catch the turtle, and let me play with it. My granddad, wow. John Marley, that's his name. My granddad, man, my granddad, he did so much, man. He loved me so much, man. It's like, you know, when somebody loves you, they don't have to say, you can feel it, the things that they do. I was little, he would buy me like boxes of Cracker Jacks, which I love. We would go fishing. And here's another thing my granddad inspired me to do is I would start making my own garden tomatoes, because what it was, he had two gardens set up and he was real good at keeping both of them up, man. And I would be out there with him, and he would water them. I begged him, could I water the garden as well? So he'd give me the water hose and I would start watering, and I would help him pick his fruits and vegetables, whatever, out of his garden. And that inspired me to do a little garden of my own. So that's what made me start getting into growing tomatoes, doing some hot peppers, all because of him, man. And I didn't realize that I was actually kind of good at it, doing it as well. I was like, wow, I can do this. I was like, wow, I'm going to keep doing it. So now what I need to do is go get me some habaneros, get me some jalapenos. I'm not going to mess. Well, I'm going to get me some Carolina Reapers, too. You know, there's this guy named, who inspired me as well, a YouTuber by the name of Everything Spicy. And, man, this brother has eaten, it's called the Nemesis Bar. It's got, I forgot how many Scovilles Carolina Reapers it's got, but that thing, man, you can't just roll up in there and eat it. No, you got to prep for it. I believe you got to eat a lot of soft stuff like bananas, bread, peanut butter. It's a lot of preparation to eat the Nemesis Bar, which I might try to do. I'm still getting around to it. But the thing is, man, he was a trooper. He did a live stream on it, eating the Nemesis Bar. He was a trooper, too. And there's a challenge. I think you got to, it's like it's like so many squares where you have to eat each square at maybe like you have a minute to eat it or whatever before you get to the next one. You got to eat so many before you got to eat one. Each one has a time limit. Once you eat that one, then you go to the next one, then to the next one till it's complete. It's crazy, man. So I got to figure that one out. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a YouTuber, Everything Spicy. He really inspired me to want to eat more hot stuff. So he's another example. And like I was saying with my granddad, my folks, it's just looking at people. You know, I try to find like what I call it, like to find a gem. There's like a gem. There's something there. I still, regardless if it don't seem too interesting, I still keep my ears open because I have a feeling something might pop up. I'm like, hey, what was that? Then I rewind it back, play it back. And I just take it with me and go play with it and see if I can figure out what they were doing, the inspirational thing. I'll go back and try to see if I can get into it, look it up, research it or whatever, and duplicate it and make it my own. I take it and put my own spin on it as well, that kind of thing. But yeah, man, just like hanging around you, being you being here, Mike, that's inspired me, especially when you did that commercial for Chris, man, and that was really nice. You did nice camera work. I believe you said you used the iPhone for that.
That was a Canon EOS R.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like the mirrorless version.
Oh,
of it.
Okay. What,
Chris,
man?
Yeah, Chris just got a new camera, and
yeah,
he's like, "Hey, Mike, learn this so you can teach me a little something."
Yeah. See, you know, that's the thing will inspire me. I just want to call you and see how you, not inspired, but just check on you as a person, just see how you're doing, man, because I know that was your friend. So that's what friends do. People just check up on each other, see how they're doing, because with this pandemic thing, man, it's just been crazy. So you just kind of check up on your people, make sure they're good, and make sure they're in a good spot, because some people handle it different. Some might be able to handle it a little better than others. But either way, you try to help each other out. Give your brother or your fellow sister, give them a hand, try to lift them up, keep them going. We do this as a team, man. We the Avengers. That kind of thing.
That's it. I feel like you're a man of references. You literally have these memories back to like 97, and I'm sure like in the 80s and 2002 you brought something up, like, and it seems like all these different references. And so whenever you did like What's in the Box with Dad, like, I felt that energy that it took you back to all these different places.
Right.
So what did you grow up on? Like, what were some of the things that really got you excited as a kid that now that you're like, it seems because you're into tech now, you're into doing reviews on things. What are some of the things that started off, and what are some things that you're really excited about that's to come?
Well, what got me started, I believe, electronics. I never forget it. I think the actual first video game system I got my hands on was Atari 2600. I got it for Christmas. Christmas, first grade. I think that was Christmas 80. Was 81? I believe so. Christmas 81. We was in back in Durham, and the Atari 2600 was the one that set it all off for me. That's where it all started with me and my older cousin coming over on the weekend playing games and staying up. It's like that was the model. That was the one that set the standard. So then next thing I know, here comes the Odyssey 2. And I learned to play Odyssey 2. My granddad of all people had it. I was like, what? You got one? Well, wait a minute. He's the one showed me how to play it. He said you do like this. You put the cartridge in, you hit power, and you do this, and you take control and you put it on channel. What? Okay, I learned from him. And then next thing I know, I'm putting it on because in the old school days, you had to either put the channel on channel 3 or channel 4. So I believe it's channel 3. And I started playing it. I played like this Western shooter gunman game where you had to do your draw. The first one to draw wins, take them out. Pow, pow, pow. So next thing I know, that same year, my granddad was talking to me. He said, I talked to Santa Claus. He said, I told him to bring you an Odyssey. I was like, wow, you talked to Santa Claus? How you? I'm trying to wrap this around my head. How did you even talk to Santa Claus? How do you know him? That kind of thing. And we got to talking, so I was like, Granddad. So I said, what happens if I try to see Santa Claus putting presents under the tree? He said to me, he'll throw pepper in your eyes. What? I said, okay, I'm not going to look. I'll just, And like, wow. I believe it was that same Christmas, third grade. I'm trying to think, man. My memory's going back. Okay, it was that same Christmas. What it was, we was living at a old duplex, right? And it didn't have no chimney on the top on the roof. Usually, most kids, Santa Claus, in order for him to get in your house, he comes down the chimney. But since we didn't have no chimney and we had just had the front door, so I had to leave the front door unlocked. Because I know the only way he can get in, get me my toys, man. I need my toys. So what I did was the door was locked. Because my folks at nighttime, they make sure the screen door and the storm door is locked. So what I did was I go back in the living room, I unlock the door because Santa need to get in the house. So then I'll go back in my room, I lay down, I go to sleep maybe, 20, 30 minutes. I wake back up because I'm so excited. Okay, maybe let me go check. Next thing I know, man, I see the door is locked again. Okay, here we go again. We're going around the block again. I go back in my room. Okay, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to take a nap. Okay, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to sleep. All right, I wake up maybe 30, 40 minutes later. The door is locked again. So finally, I did this maybe like 4 or 5 more times. So my mom and dad, they just had to go and pull me over to the side of the road. Look, it was like Santa has a magic key, in order to get into the house. So I don't have to worry about keep unlocking the door. So I guess apparently it worked. So I said, okay. So I went back in my room. I went to sleep, and I finally woke up, and it was Christmas, man. I went into the living room. I rushed the tree. Boom. Next thing I know, I see an Odyssey hanging out under the tree. I see all these games. Oh, man. I had so many games under the tree. I had the Voltron, the vehicles under. I was like, oh, man. I took it out the box, man. I was sitting there trying to figure out how you put this together. Now, see, that same year, see, my birthday's in December, so I would get birthday and Christmas. And for my birthday, it was on accident. I saw this, somehow it was on accident, because what it was, my cousin, she was over at our place. We were doing our homework in the living room, and I remember watching What's Happening Now was coming on. And so for some reason, I don't know why, Mike, but something just told me, I don't know what I was looking for. Something just told me to go out to my dad's car and just open up the trunk. I'm serious. I'm dead serious, man. I went and opened up the trunk, opened it up, and guess what was in there? The Voltron Lions, man. The Voltron Lions that thing was crisp too. The box was crisp. Oh! I went into the house. I said, Gina, I saw Voltron in the trunk. I was so excited. Then my mama heard me. She was like, well, go ahead, just get it on out. I was like, oh. So I was in the house. I took it out the box. I was trying to figure out That was the real what's in the box. So I'm pulling it out, man. I'm trying to figure out how you put the leg on here. Wait, you put this leg here. Oh, I was just going all through the changes trying to get it on, man. And once I figured out how to put the Voltron together, oh, it was nice. It was nice, man. I put his blazing sword in his hand and everything. Give him like the b-boy stance. No. But yeah, man. So I had the lions and the cars for Christmas. Like, wow. That was like one of the best Christmases, man.
So that was like you just took me on a ride first of all.
Yeah.
Like just like to the level of detail to locking the doors. So that was like the moment that just got you like into like toys and tech and then all of a sudden now how old are you now?
40. Oh Lord, 44. I had to think about it. I usually know the number. Yeah, 44. Yeah.
I say you're 44 now, and you still carry this youthful spirit and this like curiosity for tech.
Yeah.
What are you excited for now?
Oh man, get my hands on more cameras. Of course, cameras. What I really want to do, I always want to do, was get into the original old school 35 millimeter. I want to learn how to develop my own film, man. Get a dark room and learn how to develop film the old school way. Because when I look at it, that's where it started from. If it wasn't for the predecessors, all the new stuff wouldn't be able to evolve to the way it is today from the older stuff. So it's like I gotta pay my respects, give honor to the old school, man. Learn the old way, because it helps me understand how the new stuff evolved from this, by learning the old ways. Like with film, old school film, they shot on film, where now everything is digital, but everything was like analog. So everything went from analog to digital. So it's a way of saying you paying your respects to the old way, so you learn how they did it. Then you take that and you just keep going with it and say, oh, so this is how this goes. So that's how this connects with that. The old school meets the new school. Just taking everything and make them as one team. That kind of deal, man. Mm-hmm.
So now you're going back. You appreciate where things have come from.
Right.
Such that now you can appreciate what's to come.
Yeah, I have a great appreciation for everything, man. I mean, in general, I always appreciate anything that's new or old. So I'm always on the hunt for old stuff as well. Like I was saying, with those Polaroids I told you earlier, I'm always on the hunt for Polaroids. Cause man, I got like over 20 old school Polaroids, and you got the newer Polaroid, and I'm kind of hesitant about that. But for me, cause my heart, that's where it is with the Polaroid, the one-step camera, that kind of thing. Oh, I can give you a reference too. On my Sure Shannon poster, the artist Nick Nix, he drew a poster of me as a Funko Pop, which I love as well. And then you see me holding my Polaroid camera around my neck. He drew it around my neck as well, man, which is nice. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I always tell people I'm old school, man. I appreciate the new stuff, but old school, that's where I'm at. Not just electronics, computers or whatever, music as well, man. Like Marvin Gaye, Parliament, Funkadelic, old school funk, James Brown. You got the Brothers Johnson. You got Quincy Jones. Oh man, I could keep going on. And learning the ways of old school music, I learned it from my family as well. That inspired me. That's where all the old school comes from my folks, my aunts, uncles, from the parties, having the cookouts. They would bring their records to the party, and you learn the music. One of the first rap songs I remember hearing was Curtis Blow, man. These are the breaks. Break it up, break it up, break it up, break down. Dun, 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 dun. Oh man, Curtis Blow. He was like the first rapper I really recall ever hearing. Curtis Blow with the breaks, and then of course I heard Rapper's Delight by my boys. Rapper's Delight by Sugar Hill Gang. They were another group I recall hearing because they sampled Chic's Good Times. Dun, dun. These are the good times. I mean, I got a lot of references with music too, man. It's like I got so much music flowing through my head, man. It's like it just coming from my family. And like with my grandma, which I love too, she introduced me to old school blues B.B. King. Grandma sent me a B.B. King. She let me have her B.B. King autograph picture and frame. She let me have it when I went back home last September for a birthday. And she let me have it because B.B. King signed her $2 bill. And she always, man, she's had that thing over almost 30 years, man. She gave it to me. I said, wow, 'cause I know how much that meant to her. She let me have that. I still cannot fathom that, man. She let me have that. 'Cause that's like one of her prized possessions that she loves so much, as far as, celebrities. And here's the thing about that. My mom and grandma, and see, my mom was real good with contests, winning tickets, and she won tickets to the BB King contest. He came, I think, maybe to Durham years ago, and my grandma wanted to see BB King, so my mom was like, well, after the show was over, she like, come on. My mama, and see, that's the thing about being a daredevil. I think I get that from my mom. My mom didn't care. She was, she just went for it. Next thing I know, she has a way with talking to people. She's really good with people, talking to them. And she got back there and she talked to BB King. I guess basically she probably told her, her mom, my grandma wanting to see you. Next thing I know, boom, my mom got BB King to come talk to my grandma. So my mama met BB King. Next thing you know, from that day forth, man, they became friends. And after that, it was like BB King said, anytime he comes to town, whatever, just he'll hit her up, or she hit him up for tickets and come see the show, man. It's like, wow, BB King, man.
So there was a part that I feel like was very, very transformative in your life, and you're talking about people who inspired you.
Right.
Can you touch base again on that one person that inspired you, and then after that we'll have our follow-up question just to kind of wrap things up.
Okay. My grandma, back in July 2002, when she had the aneurysm. And when she had the aneurysm, old memories came back, because my mom was going to take her to the dentist. So all those old memories just kind of triggered that. And next thing I know, my mom had to rush her to the hospital. Well, yeah, rush her to the hospital. And then the doctors were saying it wasn't really like need a emergency surgery, but they were going to still have to proceed and do it. And man, I was really worried. I really was. I was like, oh man, I was just crying, man. I was just sitting there in this chair. I remember we were sitting in like the break room. Man, it's my fingernails. I was just literally scraping that wood, tearing that chair, man, just trying to hold it because I was so upset, man. It's like, that's my grandma right here, man. It's like, grandma, no. So I said, God, please, God. Man, if you just let my grandma get through this, I will try to do better every day. I went outside, man, Mike. Tears was just down my face, man. It's like, oh, God. It's like it just hit home. It just hit me too hard because I just lost my granddad I just lost my granddad like 5 years prior. It's like, man, I just can't take this right now. Please don't do this. And man, I said, God, please. And from that day forth, Mike, it was a serious game changer because my mind, everything just is like click, just started evolving, just wanting to do better, man. Just go, whatever, just get up, man. Just do something, regardless. For something simple, it don't matter. Just get up, do something. Just keep pushing it. And next thing I know, it started evolving. And by wanting to change and do better, man, so okay, like I say, let's get a camera. Okay, I want to start just shooting video, just see what happened, play around. Since I love electronics, I love cameras, Polaroids, and film cameras, so why not? Just go for it, man. Just see what happened. Like my mom always said, just try it and see. That's what I always do. Just try it and see. Next thing I know, I had the cameras. Then I had my old school G4 Mac, the tower, and I had to get the monitor, separate together. Next thing I know, I started using iMovie. I started editing iMovie. Okay, so then I had my Super VHS VCR, and I had the little converter box so I could send the signal from the VCR to the computer. And man, next thing I know, I started learning how to edit. Okay, so this is how you do this. Import the video, and then you edit, start learning, put the scenes together, the transitions or whatever. And then next thing I know, I was started playing around. I believe I started playing around with Photoshop as well. I started in 2002 playing with Photoshop. I was like, man, okay, let me test this out. No, actually, the first time I started playing, it wasn't Photoshop. It was Adobe Photo Deluxe. What it was, I bought a scanner and it included the software with it. This was back in 2000. Yeah, it was 2000, because what it was, I was starting to learn how to use it. And my uncle saw me take an old picture, just taking old pictures and fix them up. I didn't realize what I was doing. I was just playing around with it. It just seemed kind of fun, taking an old picture and bringing it back to life. And I was like, wow, that was kind of fun. Then my uncle happened to catch me playing around on the computer. So he was like, why don't you take that old picture of your grandma and fix it up? And man, I was like, oh, wow, That's a good idea. That was like a real test. Me really testing this software out. So I took it, I scanned it, I put it on the computer. Okay, so I went and I fixed up the little scratches, and next thing I know, bam, man, it's like it was a brand new picture. It was a black and white picture, and I gave it to my grandma for Christmas. Everybody couldn't believe it. I was amazed at it, man, because I printed it out on that high gloss paper, and it just, oh my gosh, it just made it pop even more. And that's when I really started discovering I had a love for fixing pictures, taking old pictures, and take black and whites and add color to them as well. And then I took it from 2002, then 2003, and it kept evolving. It's like, oh wow, man. So I was doing Photoshop and doing videos. I would shoot videos, come home, take pictures, edit my pictures, and edit my videos. So it's like that became a team, taking pictures and shooting video with my camera. So that's where that started. So I kept taking that, involving, and it's kept just going to the next stage. And now everything from that point has led up to this point where, of course, reading books, going on YouTube, that thing's just going out and experiment. It's all led up to this point now as well. It's like, wow, my journey, man. Oh man, I still can't believe that how far I've came up to this point, learning all that stuff. And most of it, man, I just went out on my own and did it. I didn't take no classes or anything. I just on my own, man, because I was my curiosity, man, just feeding it.
Thank you first of all, thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for being like very open and vulnerable about like what it took to get you to where you're at right now. Being 44 and still curious and just like ready to continue to learn and continue to grow and connect. And so with all the knowledge and all the experience that you've had over the 44 years of life, I would like to boil it down to this one question: what impact would you like to leave on this world?
Man, it's deep. The impact I would like to leave in this world is, man, follow your dreams. If you see something you really want, just do it, man. Go for it. Don't let no one discourage you, because it takes courage to be yourself. So if you see something you might feel you can make a change, man, go for it. Just do it. Do your thing and go for it. Don't let anybody get in your space and try to say, no, you can't do this and that. Because I've had that too, man. People going through school saying things, but it don't matter. I'd still be me. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to be yourself. You just got to push through it regardless. And I think that's what makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I believe that. I feel like I'm a testament to that, man. So just keep doing your thing. Go for it. Go for what you know, man. Ask God. Pray to God. Ask Him to give you guidance. Follow. He'll give you the vision. He'll put the people in your right path and send you on your way, man.
And
right on.
So where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me at the Sure Shannon Show. You can find me at the Sure Shannon Show. The Sure Shannon Show at gmail.com. If you got any questions, seriously. But if you have any questions or whatever, you can find me there. Just hit me up on my email. That kind of thing. So, hey, man, got any questions? I'm always open to ask. I'm sorry, my words. I'm always open to answer questions anytime. So hit me up at the Sure Shannon Show at gmail.com. Be there, be square. No.
And you have a YouTube channel too, yeah?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel called The Sure Shannon Show. And that's really cool where I do a lot of different things, a variety of things. I do unboxing with mystery boxes, what's in the box with my buddy, the great Mike Williams. We did What's in the Box, the Game Changer. I also do conventions where I go around and shoot conventions, celebrities on panels, and people are doing the cosplay with the outfits. And I also do a little cooking when I transform into Chef Shannon. I transform into Chef Shannon. I got so many things, but my show is a wide variety of things. So anything that goes like interviewing my buddies or people who got something fun to do, I try to capture it on tape. Whatever catches my eye, man, I just go out there and go get it. Pull out my fishing rod, bring it home, cook it up, whatever you want to call it, that kind of thing. So, man, that's what I'm all about, fun, man. No, I try to stay away from the negative stuff because that's going to be there. But the thing is, I try to take, even in a negative situation, man, I try to take it, spin it like a record. You got the negative is like the A side, so I want to try to flip it to the B side and make it something just as good. Remix it, flip it, spin it, make it my own, that kind of thing, man. Because like I said before, I always try to find a gem somewhere because it's there. You just got to listen for it and look for it, recognize it sometimes. Even no matter, trust me, man, I've been there where the situation was real negative, but I still managed to find some good things. See, that's the thing with God. Regardless, like the bad stuff you're going through, He'll still bring the good stuff. The good stuff will come out of it. He'll show it, bring you to the light and let you see it. You just got to be there to recognize it. Once you, sometimes you got to go and reflect back on like the good stuff from the bad. It's like, oh, now I see. Like I reflect on it. It's like, oh, there was good stuff that came out of the bad. And it's like, I take it with me and I just keep going and build on it. That's the thing, is just understanding things, how the way the world functions, the way you do things, and the way God sets his path for you, just understanding it, being disciplined enough to obey what he says and says to you to do it. If you do this, if you do this right here, just to get you here, just follow me, I'll take you there. You know what I mean? Like the Staple sings, I'll take you there. Dun 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 dun. I'll take you there.
And any last words?
Please be sure to catch the Sure Shannon show. Catch the Sure Shannon show, because I have a lot of fun. And I'm here to make you laugh, have a good time, just kick back. Because, you know, if you're having a rough day, hey, man, stop on by the Sure Shannon show. I'm sure you're bound to get a laugh or two out of it.